Hello class, welcome to week 3 of our Transpersonal Approaches to Creative Expression. This week we are working with multimodal work or multiple media as we integrate different types of media from dance and movement, engaging the physical body, to visual with oil and chalk pastels or paints, to clay work, to verbal with poetry or written word, and one might even integrate music, singing, or playing a musical instrument. The goal is really to look at how these different media come together when you are engaging a particular issue, but using different media to unfold what that experience might be for you. So again, the topic is combining different media types for creative expression, and the discussion for this week is what are the advantages of using more than one medium? And what does this tell us about our psyche or our soul? And how do we exist and how we exist in the world? So what do you learn from using multiple media? And please use the references to the books or readings for this week. We have the Creative Connection, chapters 4 and 5, and Trust the Process, pages 60 to 74. The value that we are looking at this week is discernment and mindfulness. We're mindful of how these different media affect us when we're engaging in multimodal work, but also discernment of what might be the right media for you when you start folding them together. So I want to talk a little bit about mixing the media, and then I want to leave you with a few quotes from the books and the readings this week. The first thing I want to talk about is how powerful mixing media can actually be. When we are engaging in only using one medium, it is akin to approaching a problem from one perspective. But once we start approaching it through multiple perspectives, we start to see more, we start to unfold different aspects that we might not have noticed before, and because of that, it can be much more powerful. And another way to look at this is in Jungian terms, when looking at a complex within the psyche. If we look at that complex and we address that complex in one way, we might only come to know a particular aspect of it. Whereas if we start engaging in multiple media, we can unfold that complex a bit more, and by doing so, that awareness of that complex gets released into the psyche, and it can, if not contained, it can become overwhelming. So you want to make sure that you're doing this work in a safe container, safe place that you set up in your house, your office, and really internally a safe place, that you're in a place where you can allow yourself to engage in this work without self-judgment. So speaking of judgment, just an aside, this is week 3 is the first week where we are allowing the posting of the creative expression piece and then the response aspect, with all of us able to respond to each other's pieces. When we do that, please make sure to respond in the first person. You're responding with your own projections on the piece, about the piece. Please do not say what the piece means. Tell your reaction and your response. So when you see a piece, say, when I see this, this is what happens for me. And in that way, we claim our projections and we keep it a safe environment for us to put our pieces out there without being judged in a critical way. Please also refrain from saying, oh, this is great, this is wonderful, or this is horrible, this is bad. Let's keep that judgmental, whether it's a positive or negative judgment, out of the posts. So just tell how you respond and you react to the pieces. And I'll demonstrate on the first ones that are posted, so you can see what I mean. So back to how powerful the multimodal work is. Engaging in this can be a very powerful means of expression, and I highly encourage you to play with it and use different sets of combinations for your multimodal work. The second thing I want to talk about is what do we think is happening when we engage in different media. Uh, One of the hypotheses is that when engaging in something, for example, that is both visual and then engaging in the verbal by labeling and talking about or journaling about the experience, and then moving into movement, is that we are engaging different hemispheres of the brain. We might be engaging the more of the right hemisphere with the visual piece, and then engaging the Broca's and Wernicke's area with the linguistic aspect, and then we're engaging the motor cord aspect of the brain as we engage in the physical movement piece of it. So by engaging in multiple media, we might actually be engaging multiple aspects of the brain and creating more of a holistic type of expressive arts practice. Another way of looking at it is that by engaging in different media, we might also be tapping into the different centers, the body centers. In Gurdjieff terms, we're talking about the head, the heart, and the stomach, or the tantien, or the center. There's lots of different forms or different ways of looking at the different centers in the body, but by using different modes, they may interact with us in different ways. For example, journaling may be more cognitive unless you're doing a type of embodied writing, body journaling, whereas movement may be more heart or gut centered. So be mindful of that and be watching for that within yourself as well. The third piece is that by engaging in this type of work, we are, I've already referred to this, going through layers. You're peeling away the layers of an experience, whether it's a complex, a certain issue within our lives, or an issue within our psyche, or whether it's something that we're trying to understand better about ourselves or about a situation that we happen to be in. When engaging in the first level of expressive arts, that might take us a little ways there, and then dropping into that second media again, going to the next level. Watch and see if that's your experience, and I look forward to hearing about that online. An example of this is I am also trained as a dream worker, group dream work facilitator. And there's different ways of working within groups around dream work. And one way is actually bringing in expressive arts and visual expressive arts, so drawing and painting the dreams. So you might have somebody share a dream and then everybody draw or paint the dream. But then another thing that another dream worker actually brought into the group in which I was helping train, facilitate, is yoga. And after somebody shares a dream, moving into body movements, body yogic movements, and how allowing the body to move after hearing a dream releases certain energy within the dream that the dream might hold within the body, and not just the mind. So combining those together, you get a layering effect. You can work on the visual expressive art level, you can work on the body movement level, do the different movements that seem congruent with the dream. And the same thing applies to expressive arts, creating an expressive art piece, then doing movements you think congruent with that piece, doing sounding, making music, moving into play work or collage work, etc. So I look forward to seeing how this pans out for you this week, and let me leave you with some quotes. First, entrust the process. The first section we're going to be reading from is called The Blank Page, and this is talking about how we create. Does an image come to us, or can we create an image in conjunction with the media and let it be created and expressed in the moment, rather than having an image come to us and trying to recreate that image specifically. And so I like what McNiff says. Why not consider that images grow through the interaction among hands, body, eyes, materials, the painting or drawing surface, and the mind? And that is on page 60. And on page 67, he goes on to say, any act can become the subject of aesthetic contemplation. In this sense, there is no blank page in the world. Every moment and gesture carries the potential for creation. Blankness and emptiness are attitudes. What matters in aesthetic consciousness is the quality of attention that we bring to the witnessing of actions performed by others and ourselves. The next section that we're going to be reading is on reframing. And the essence of this chapter is it's similar to doing what's called shadow work. Taking something in our life that we'd like to reframe, we'd like to think of it in a new way. And the piece, the quote that I want to leave you with here wanted to mention at the end, he says, the use of boxes may help to keep the disturbance enclosed and framed if you want to use boxes. And, what I was going to do here was point out the exercise on 74. This is something that you could do for this week and work it into using different media. It's to gather together artifacts, photographs, colors, materials, other things connected to the personal situation that you wish to reframe. That's the second paragraph in 74. Go ahead and read that, and that might be one potential exercise. So, the creative connection. Natalie Rogers, we're reading chapter 4 and 5. Chapter 4 is on using movement and writing, and chapter 5 on art, music, and meditation. And essentially, I put these two chapters together because they are talking about using mixed media and folding them together. The quote that I want to leave you with from Natalie Rogers' work is on page 92. And she says, in discussing creative connection, we have been looking at how each art form can help us discover the mystery of the self. Using the expressive arts, we can enter realms of the unconscious to bring forth messages through our movements, our sounds, words, and images. It seems that the more we use our creative power, the more we have. Tap the source and the wellspring flows. In doing so, we open ourselves to a universal energy source. So this is what I would hope for you as you're engaging in your expressive art practice, that you can tap that source and let more energy flow in your life. And really that's the goal here, to find out more about ourselves as we engage in these different practices. Good luck. We'll see you online, and have a good rest of the week.